about a horse, honey.
Butter's important to me.
Yeah.
It's Sunday night and you're about to watch Tarot Nice to Meet You, the show featuring live tarot reading for comedians by, other comedians. Here are your hosts, Carly Smallman and Sarah Isles.
Tarot! Hi, it's Tarot. Nice to meet you. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Carly Smallman. This
Are you sure?
is Sarah Isles. So I never know what way to point with this thing. It's like a mirror. So I'm just pointing basically at my bookshelf. Is actually what's going on. And we're here to read some mother freaking tarot tonight. Thank you for tuning in. If this is your first time, this is the live stream where comedians read tarot for other comedians. We'd love to hear from you. Oh yeah, do we put the thing down? Please say hello. Let us know where you are, how you are. What's your week been like, guys? Yeah, we can't wait to learn more. And later on, we're going to be drawing cards and doing special one-card readings for you, the audience. So if you have a question, write the question. If you don't have a question, it doesn't fucking matter, does it?
We'll do it anyway.
Yeah, we'll do it anyway. No, just ask and we'll pull you a card. Just give a random card. Maybe some advice. What do I need to hear from the universe? Sarah, how are you doing, honey?
Surviving, yeah. I mean, obviously, as you know, I've been very ill. I'm on a lot of antibiotics, but I'm okay. I'm going to keep on having like hot flushes. Hi, Kev. Hello. You tuned in at the right time. Yeah, so sometimes I have to take my cardigan off. I'm just having a little bit of a hot flush, but I'm all right. I slept most of today, so yeah, feeling fab. How about you?
I'm all right. I'm also feeling a little bit tired today. But I had a lovely Mother's Day with my mum.
Yes, happy Mother's Day to mum.
Yeah, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Hello, you sexy mothers. So yeah, we had afternoon tea because all these places in lockdown are doing. Oh, hi Stephen, thanks for tuning in. You know, loads of places are doing like afternoon tea packages. My mum decided they were all a fucking rip-off. So she didn't want one. We did mention it as a nice thing, like, Mum, maybe we could get you one of these afternoon tea packages at the restaurant. So she was like, no, at the supermarket you can get the whole lot for £20. And she
she's right though.
She is. And then as we were eating it, she sat there and was actually calculating the cost of every item. And how much it would have cost if we got individual afternoon tea. So it was really scintillating conversation that I was delighted to be a part of.
Well, it's her day. She's allowed to calculate the cost of sandwiches if that is what's going to bring her joy.
That's what I thought. That's what she's into. And who am I to my hobby is putting tarot for strangers on the internet. She doesn't say a damn thing. So if she wants to add up the cost of scones, then so be it.
So be it. Absolutely. Yeah. And how much are they, out of interest?
I actually wasn't listening at all.
Tuned out, didn't you? You tuned out. Okay. I thought that might be the case, and this wasn't a test. Your mum didn't text me or anything and ask me to test you.
She's watching. My mum was watching tonight. So.
No, but if Mrs. Smalls could let us know how much it's going.
Let us know how much the scones were, Mum, because everyone's dying to know. We've inundated with messages, wondering the price. So please let us know. Our fans they're not even tuning in. It's called Scones. Nice to meet you tonight, and we're going to scones in front of another comic.
Where have they gone? Yeah, I mean, endless puns for scones.
Sarah, should we put cards for each other first?
Yeah, let's do it. Do you want me to pull for you first?
Okay, I'll say. Should I say when?
Yeah, say when.
When?
Oh.
Ooh.
I think this is sharing the price of scones. I think if we're being honest. So this is like a card of sharing the wealth. So this is either maybe that you're going to have money given to you or you are going to share some money. I mean, I think, to be honest, it might be you receiving money. No offense, because I know obviously we're comedians, we're out of work right now. But this is quite a nice card. So this is something of you either giving money to charity or receiving some money. And I feel
I know what this is. I actually think I know what this is.
Yes, tell them. I just remembered. Sorry.
Yeah, so I run a chain of comedy clubs called Bring Your Own Baby Comedy. Shout out! It's closed right now, and we were very, very lucky. We actually received a government grant this week. So that was wonderful. And yeah, so we're going to be sharing it with our lovely show managers and whoever we can, really, and just try and get the shows back up and running. So I think it could be that. Maybe it's a reminder, because I've been talking about doing all these wonderful things with Elisa, who I run it with, and we haven't done any of it yet. So maybe it's a reminder saying, you know, there's nice.
Maybe you should share it, share the wealth. Yeah, absolutely. Scones, cream first, then. Oh, we're not going to start this debate, Stephen, because I'm aware that this can get very nasty. People get very defensive about whether it's cream first or jam first. Personally, I am.
Show, Stephen. This isn't a controversial show.
Yeah, we like to keep things PC. So, I mean, we can't really handle this kind of risky statement.
No,
so
thank you. Witchcraft. This isn't controversial. We're just, casting spells and reading cards.
Yeah, I mean, that comment is for Scones, nice to meet you, which Carly did mention earlier. So we're just going to,
And that will be live streaming never, so please tune in. I'm going to pull you a card. I'm excited that our guest is joining us, but I'm always tempted to bin it off and actually do Scones, nice to meet you.
And the thing is, we actually could blag our way through a Scones, nice to meet you show.
A whole hour. A whole hour.
About scones.
All right, are you going to shuffle?
Yep, shuffle away, babe. Stop.
Whoa.
Oh.
Chariot.
Oh.
Okay, I actually really like this card. Here, you can see a charioteer. I say he's on a chariot. I always think he looks like he's kind of just standing in a concrete box. And he's got two phoenixes sat in front of him. He's under a kind of starry canopy. This card is about a few things. It can be about moving forward. So it can be about taking action towards something this week, Sarah, determination, drive. But it's a card about success. It's about that kind of go-getting stage in your life where you want something and you're going to have to go out there and fucking get it. It can mean travel, but I don't think in your case it does, babe.
No, I mean, I'd like to think so, but I would say unless it's travelling to the coffee shop and back, that's about as far as it's going to go. But yeah, that's quite an exciting card. Sarah, hello, fellow Sarah. I'm not going to get involved in the debate because it's jam first, then cream. I'm sorry, you are wrong, but I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to get into it. We're not. I mean, it's cream then jam, but we don't really need to.
I'm with Sarah on it. I was going to play devil's advocate and try and make everyone like me, but I don't want to be a fucking people pleaser. I'm just going to say today I put cream and then I put jam, and see? My mum and my sister as is tradition.
Yes. So there we go. Okay. Well, I'm glad we sorted that out.
Should we get a guest on just to try and break up this absolute fucking carnage that's ensued on the show? It's like a brawl. We can't have this on our show. No, we can't. Anyway, our guest this week is fabulous. He's a very funny man, a fabulous comedian. His name is Jonathan Mayer. And Jonathan Mayer, welcome to the show. Taro, nice to meet you.
Hi, it's jam then cream. You people are idiots. I'm sorry. Let's just do this. Come on. I'm sorry. No, because if you put the cream on and then you put the jam, the cream goes splurty-hurty all over the table. You put the jam on and then you take all the cream from all the other people's plates and you put it on top of your scone and then you eat all of it in your face. It's just efficiency. You're talking about
the more cream, the better.
Exactly. It's like going to an all-you-can-eat salad bar and not putting lettuce leaves down round the bowl to buttress up everything else that you put in it. You know, jam is the buttress, cream is the. Let's get on with the proper thing.
I'm quite concerned that is the proper thing today.
I think we've turned. Yeah, unfortunately, having done this, it's a bit. You're never going to get off this one now.
Absolutely. I love it. In a week full of big news here in the UK, we're talking about the things that matter. Jam or cream first.
It
really does matter to people, though, doesn't it? I mean,
we tackle the big issues here. It's all about the big issues. That's why everyone's here. It's a real highbrow show.
It really is.
Hello, how lovely to be here. Thank you for having me.
We were going to say, lovely of you to join us. Very, very kind of you. We're really excited. But because I don't know you that well, so we're actually getting.
I don't know who you bloody well are, darling. No, absolutely. Never heard of you.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm sure you're marvellous, but.
No one knows.
No,
who I am.
I don't know. I don't think we've ever worked together, have we?
No,
I don't think we have. No, because are you in the south? You're in the south.
We're the south.
You see, and recently comedy hasn't been travelling as much, and then this year, not even out of our houses. So yeah, I don't think we've ever worked together. But lovely to meet you finally.
I agree. I'm so pleased you're here. Thank you so much for tuning in. So my darling, we're going to start a little getting to know you part, where we're going to do our first section called Brief Encounters.
All right then.
Not that. That's the other show. The other
All right.
show.
All right.
You know what? I was manifesting to see a naked man, and I realised it was
No, it's a bit like a marshmallow at the moment, darling. It's not Ripley or you know. I'll send you a photograph of when I was playing rugby 20 years ago. It's much more interesting, honestly.
Thank you. I'll take that.
Even I avoid looking in the mirror at the moment. No.
But do you know what? I'm looking at I'm just masturbating over past pictures of everyone. I don't want to see what anyone looks like currently.
I'll find a cute one when I had hair and muscles. You'll enjoy that.
Sarah's good.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll take that. I love that. Yeah,
I love it. Right, Jonathan. Our first part of the show called Brief Encounters, where we like to sort of speak to you about like any sort of like unusual or unexplained or like magical things that you maybe encountered.
I've got two stories. I've got two stories for you. One about tarot, because we've mentioned this, but because I wanted to write something when I was about 23, when I was fairly clear-cut atheist. I was determined that this was it, and that was all. But I was really intrigued because I read history, and I was reading about traveller societies in medieval Europe, because that's how gay I actually am. And I just got really intrigued by the business of tarot, and I thought it was a really great device for a character. So I was writing this thing, and I got myself a pack of cards, and I got myself some books, and not with any sort of insight or pretension to be psychic or have any ability, but I just read the books and started doing readings to my friends to just kind of get a feel for the tarot. And I was really intrigued. And what really amazed me was not that I was any good at reading the cards, but how often the readings, which I used to write down and keep so I could potentially use them within the thing that I was doing, turned out to be like true later on. I mean, not that they predicted the future, not so much predicted the future, but how opposite they were to people's situations. It was really quite kind of, and the one I mentioned to you was this friend who she was a great academic, and she was looking into a career, a very sort of hardcore career, but she was also with a long-term boyfriend, and the cards that came up, there was a big spread, but the crucial card was the Lovers, and then on one side the Priestess, and on the other side the Empress. And I did manage to say something like, I think there's a choice here between your academic side and your, more domestic sort of motherly side, and blah, blah, blah. And we went on, and it was fine. And she was like, oh, this is quite impressive and quite kind of, and I thought, oh, okay, great. And like within 7 days, her boyfriend had proposed to her, and she'd accepted him. And she rang up and said, and as he did it, he basically said, he didn't foresee this, did he? And of course I didn't. But when I went back and looked at the spread again with my books, I was like, actually, it's right there. It's there. Yeah. That this is, and it must have been in her mind, because I doubt that it was a surprise. I doubt that he just sprang it on her. It must have been in her head. And I was actually, I had a bit of a, I'm getting a bit of a, I was a bit sort of, because I was like, although I didn't see it, it was there. A better reader than I would have potentially spotted it. The other thing that happened to me, which really, really was much more recently, but definitely sort of has confirmed that I'm not atheist anymore, or at least not strictly. I'm not sure what I am anymore. But a dear friend of the family died recently. She was 90 years old, and she'd been another mother to me, and we were very, very close. And she lived near Peterborough in her later years with her daughter. And I was very depressed at the time, and I was barely able to do anything, and certainly wasn't really leaving the house and traveling very much. But and her birthday was on the Tuesday, and not the Sunday immediately before. The Sunday before that, we got a call from daughter saying she's had a massive stroke, she's lost her sight, she's in hospital, she's very ill. And I went, right, I'm coming down. And I don't know why, but something prompted me, and my husband and I went down to her, see her that on the Monday, and we had this lovely visit. She was amazed that I was there. She couldn't see me. And as I left her, I did something I've never done before. I kissed her all over her face and said goodbye. And we had this lovely goodbye, went home. And we were still planning to come down for her 90th birthday the next week. Anyway, on the Monday night, we were in a bar called Taurus in the Village in Manchester. And about 10:30 at night, 11ish at night, you know when the cinemas do that thing where they're focused on the central character and all the background goes away and it looks like things are rushing away or towards that sort of disassociative. It was like that was happening to me in the bar. I had this weird rushing sensation and everything went out of sort of focus. And I was suddenly aware that the music in the bar, there was a song playing, and it was that hymn. It was make me a channel of your peace, where there is hatred, let me bring the love. But in a sort of jazz, la 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 la, and but not jazzy like that, happy, but sort of a kind of soulful little voice. And I was like, this is a really, and I just turned to Leon. I mean, that's a weird song, isn't it, to be playing in a gay bar at 10:30? Right, weird. It's just a weird song. I've never heard it before. And I just turned to Leon and said, Auntie Irene has just died. And I didn't even mean to say it. And he went, really? And I went, I don't know. Like, it was like I didn't know, but I did. I was absolutely clear. And so we got home and had the phone call. And basically, she'd gone to bed, and her 90th birthday was the next day. So basically, she died in her sleep, and she died about that time, which was weird enough. But then when we got to the funeral, oh no, I really am getting these weird chills. And again, the trouble is with these stories, it sounds so flimsy. It could all just be coincidence, but it had real, like, emotional resonance. It went right through me. I opened the order of service, and the first hymn in the funeral was "Make Me a Channel of Your Peace." And I was just like, yeah. Yeah, so I
too much coincidence for me.
It's just there's a lot there. It seems to me there's a lot there, and I don't know whether I'd call it supernatural, but I do think there's more to it than we know at the moment. Maybe at some point in the future, it will just all be science to be going, oh, that tarot, turns out they were just talking about this. But at the moment, there's something that we communicate with only sort of incidentally, like sideways, and through things like meditation and tarot and other states. So but I don't know what that makes me, but those are my two little stories.
I think that's amazing. Like, I 100% agree with sort of the universe kind of sending these sort of energies for us to pick up on, and I think that they're always there, but maybe a lot of the time we just don't spot them because we're so busy with our lives. And actually, if you just kind of look for things, or not even if you look for things, when you're in like a highly charged emotional state like that, I do think it's easier to pick up on these things. I remember when my granddad died, everyone started giving so I'm from a very big Scottish family. Right. And when he died, everyone started giving each other electric shocks.
Oh, wow.
And shocking each other. Everyone was shocking each other, but also it wasn't like it was just someone had like weird flooring. It didn't matter whose house we were in. We were all giving each other electric shocks.
Isn't that amazing?
And after a few days, they kind of went away. And my granny, and actually, I think my mum even said it. I think they were convinced it was his energy.
Yeah, staying with you for a bit.
Yeah, because we were all so emotional. We were like, picking up on it more. Than we may not have. I mean, I don't know if that's if there's anything to it, but it's always, I love these sort of stories. That's why I love this part of the show. It's my favorite part. Actually. I find it so inspiring and amazing. And genuinely, when people do tell stories, and you said about even there, I was like,
is that me or you?
No, I think it's Carly.
Same. I love it.
I think Carly, you've frozen.
Really
honey.
good one.
Because I think Jonathan and I can see each other, but Carly can't. Carly, honey, you're frozen.
I'm frozen. Can you hear me?
Right now? Yeah, you're back now.
See you now. You're back. You're fine. But we just missed whatever wisdom knew.
It's fine. I'm frozen inside. I think that's what it is. I'm frozen.
Don't say that.
No, she's dead inside, not frozen.
Dead
frozen
inside. Oh no, that's the only possible response to today's society, I think.
Yeah, just dead inside.
It's natural medication. That's all you've got, isn't it?
Welcome to the show. I'm dead inside.
Dead inside. And I'm on a lot of antibiotics. Welcome to the show.
We're dead inside.
And I've got long COVID. Yay!
What a healthy bunch we are.
If in about half an hour I suddenly go, and I'm low energy, that's what it is. It's the long COVID. Just so you know.
I feel like we should do the reading then before you kill us.
We get this on.
I'm just sweating.
I'm
having more fun than I've had in a while, though, so that's good, isn't it?
Oh no, Stephen, she's not in the freezer. She's dead inside.
No, I'm dead inside. It's very different.
No, sorry.
I'm just dead inside.
That's why she's in comedy, darling. That's how that works.
Do you know what I think? We should start answering the phone like that. When people say, "How are you?" I think we should all just start for a week. In fact, not for a week, just respond dead inside, and just see. Let us know next week in the comments. How
Whether anybody notices, because of course you're all expecting. I'm fine. How are you? Even if your legs just fallen off. So if you just go, I'm dead inside. How are you? And see whether people actually go, I'm sorry, what? Or whether they go, I'm fine. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Do that then.
Right, let's do a reading. We are going to do you a 3-card reading. It's going to be advice for the week ahead. Just for the tarot buffs in the room, we are going to only read cards the right way up. We do not read reversals on this show.
Oh, okay.
Jonathan, I'd like to start with this. I'm guessing you probably have. Have you ever had your cards read before?
Ages and ages and ages ago now. Mostly I read them. I never really had them read for me because it was Blair. Sorry, that wasn't going anywhere.
It's hard to read your own though. That's why when I found out that Sarah could read tarot, I like, because we both do stand up. We both live down the road from each other. When I found out she read tarot, that's kind of all before the lockdown and lockdown.
You can actually talk to each other. You barely know each other. You just read each other's stuff.
And that's how we found out all the dirty little secrets about each other.
What's this? You've been giving blowjobs again this week, Sarah.
That's not a dirty little secret.
You'd be like, really? Knight of Wands again, Sarah? Really? I'm like,
Carly, what are you putting in there?
Why are you still surprised about this?
I told you, jam first, then cream.
Don't start that again. What is wrong with you?
It's not a controversial
It's the antibiotics talking, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it is.
I'll tell you what, then, Jonathan, I'll shuffle for you.
Right.
And when the universe prompts you, or just when you get a vibe, just say when, and I'll deal cards from the top of the deck. So I'll just shuffle.
All right, so I just stop you once.
Just stop me once. Just stop me, and I'll just deal 3 cards consecutively.
Okay. When? That's fine. Wherever you are.
Oh, okay. This is a gritty one. Okay.
Oh. I don't want gritty. Can I do it again, please? I want nice ones. I'm going to be famous in 4 days.
Okay, here we go. This is why it's gritty. You've got the devil.
Ooh.
El Diablo.
Ooh, exciting.
Come up in the reading. No, this is quite an exciting one. I mean, this card, it doesn't always have to mean something negative. I think when this comes up, this is one of the cards that when I was first reading tarot, I would like shit myself. I'd be like, but actually, it's a card. It is a card of sort of. I think of it as a card of like restriction and excess. You know, like, you know, if you're eating a bit too much, or if you're drinking a bit too much, or if you are in a friendship or a relationship and that's kind of a bit toxic, like, you know, you shouldn't really be doing it. That's the devil.
It's the eating and drinking, definitely.
Every time I put on the I pull this card and I'm like, no shit.
Whenever I've been like a bender of 3 nights in a row.
Funny enough, I was going to ask, you know, the freezer thing you do. I was going to ask whether you could put alcohol in the freezer for me, but are you doing like a general spell for everybody, or is it directly? Because I'm having to really not drink. It got way out of hand in lockdown. So that feels very. That is
what that is. And the irony is I couldn't put it in my freezer because I've got a bottle of vodka next to my ice cube.
I did think
the irony is I'm putting alcohol in the freezer next to my vodka.
Great. Yeah.
I love it. With this card, the advice that comes with this card is, yes, you are kind of you can see that kind of the devil sits on his perch and the 2 people are bound to him, and it's kind of symbolic of the devil is this negative influence, like alcohol maybe in this case, and you feel like you are chained to it. But actually, if you look closely at the picture, they're not really chained. Let me get you right.
No, they're not
really chained that hard to it. They can slip the chains off from around their necks. So it's just an illusion. They can make a choice not to kind of have that attachment there anymore. But it takes awareness that you can do it. It's very sort of hippy-dippy. Like,
I like it.
But that's what it is. It takes awareness.
Is there an echo of the lovers in that card, do you think?
There is. There's also, Because what you have is, if you can see closely on the picture, is you see the tails of the male and the female are representing, I think one's fire and one's grapes. So it is like really accentuated that lust side of things, and it can mean quite directly a devil card, really dirty, filthy sex.
It can.
Well, I'd be all right with that if that were happening, but that's definitely not happening at the moment. So it's got to be the drink.
Right. Okay.
I mean, you know, there was a time in my life when I welcomed that in.
I'm trying to find the lovers card.
The lovers have got a man and a woman, haven't they? Stood on either side with a signpost in the
Look
middle,
side
and
by
it feels
side.
like you've got the wings of the devil and the signpost, and there's a.
It's exactly
Oh no,
that.
you've got wings. You've got actual. Wow, that is really similar, isn't it?
They're really similar, and you've got flames and
even the flames and the fruit. But
yeah,
it's,
I can't remember which angel it is. I feel like it's like Michael. I feel like, is it Judgment that's Gabriel and one's like Michael?
Yeah,
or, I can't
Judgment
remember.
is Angel Gabriel. Yeah. So I don't.
Yeah.
know.
This is presumably the angel at the gates of Eden, because there's a snake on the tree and all of that. Yeah. I don't know which one that was.
The thing that I find
Muriel. It was her. Yeah.
When these two come up, I've done maybe 2 readings where these two have come up next to each other.
Oh yeah.
And when they come up together, I always think you've got to run out of your relationship.
Yeah, that's like love, isn't it?
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Because you think it looks like this, but it looks like this.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah,
Is there
it's
anything
probably
you add?
amazing to have a toxic relationship.
Yeah.
No, this is a toxic relationship with alcohol, which I'm definitely trying to shake at the minute. I've actually been sober for a few weeks, but it's been a battle, and it's a constant battle at the moment, because it's and it definitely got way out of hand during lockdown. So it's a bit personal. Stop asking me. It's a comedy question. It's about comedy. Pardon?
Do you think it was from boredom? I found that's when I was
I think although it was sort of coming before lockdown as well. I mean, I've always been a very excessive person in terms of sex and drink and drugs, and I tend to be addicted. I tend to be addicted to something. I think the thing is, without my stage therapy / comedy addiction thing being served, the other one came forward. So it's an imbalance in my personality. I see that. But that's comedy. That's comedy for you.
My favourite too.
Well, there's also another side to the devil
hello,
card.
Duncan.
The devil card actually addresses the shadow self, which is about limiting beliefs and not actually having some self-destructive behaviors because of your limiting beliefs. So sometimes saying that what you can do is, if you actually try and address the reasons why you feel like that you aren't this, because obviously you're a very amazing, vivacious person. So I don't know what could possibly make you feel like it's holding you back, but something is holding you back. And if you address that, then you'll no longer feel like this devil has the power over you. And let people sort of see you, see yourself how other people see you.
Yeah, definitely at the moment I'm thinking, like, have I been forcibly retired? Because I'm 50 this year, and I kind of think, thank you, darling, thank you. I had a lot of work done.
Put it in the comments.
But you're kind of thinking, if this carries on and the comedy circuit really vanishes. I mean, I'm a very happy circuit comic, but let's be honest, I'm not like a Jason Manford. I haven't got the ability to fill a room on my own. So if the circuit dies, then am I ever going to? And I've had all of that going on in my head, and I think the alcohol's been. But actually, now I'm booking live gigs. I'm instantly feeling a lot better. Oh look, work's going in again. Thank God. So yeah, but it does feel very live though. What you've said about this card.
Yeah.
So again, this is what tripped me up last time when I approached the tarot from a purely like, I don't believe this to be anything more than a fun diversion thing, and then things like this would come up all the time, and I'd think, well, that's a bit on the nose, isn't it? And
it's hard to take. It's hard to take sometimes.
I hate you, Kevin.
Kev, get the fuck off the show with 48. Sorry.
48.
Sorry, Kev.
It's still, if you put 38, I'd be flattered. 48, I can handle.
Yeah, 48.
I'm still not happy about it.
Tell the lady she's beautiful and young.
Yeah. Tell the lady she's beautiful. I'm going to use that as a catchphrase from now.
Do it. Tell the lady she's beautiful.
I had this wonderful thing outside. We went. I do a burlesque show. I will be doing soon a burlesque show in Manchester. And one of the ladies who was dancing that night came up, and we both had a little bit to drink. And I said, right, I'm going to get you into a taxi. So we flagged down this cab, and she said, get in the cab. I said, I can't leave you in the middle of Manchester on Sunday night drunk on your own. You get in the cab, I'll get another one. She said, but you're a lady, Jonathan. I said, yes, but I'm not a woman. And I've decided that's definitely where I sit.
Wow,
I may not be a woman, but I'm all lady. Yeah,
I
exactly.
love that because so many people are a lady and need to embrace the fact that
I
ladies
are a lady. I'm just not a woman. It's fine.
a woman.
Yeah, I love the phrase.
You don't
I'm
have
gonna
to be a woman to
use
be a
that.
lady.
Yeah.
Love that.
Right, I'm giving you your next card.
Okay, go for
because it's me to not annoy Jim by overrunning too much.
How long can we overrun by, Jim? Just, can we have another hour? I'm having a lot of fun.
Jim, this is
Well, I've got to
3
take my
hours.
antibiotic at 8.
okay, fair enough.
I'm not joking.
What's this one?
This is the 5 of Swords.
Ooh.
This kind of can be a card about sort of inner conflict. I feel like it does
Yeah.
link up with the devil. So you can see in the picture, I always feel with tarot, and I spoke about this before on the show, when you see these cards, they represent kind of archetypes and like sort of different recognizable phases of just being a person. So when you see the characters, you can be in the position of any one of these characters. So in this card, you can see there's a guy standing sort of on a beach, and he's been in a battle with these two blokes, and he's won the battle. But in doing so, he's been a sore winner. He's actually taken their swords. So he's beat them and he's robbed them. So this is the card. So you could either be feeling like, and bearing in mind swords are the suit of like the internal like thoughts and communication.
Yeah.
You could be feeling like that sense of defeat, or you could be the sort of person who likes to win at all costs. And I feel like when you come up with the devil, and because this is to do with the mind and thoughts, and this is a card of conflict, all 5s are conflict cards numerically, but this is about sort of that inner conflict again, and making sure that you're a good winner as well. Sorry, I'm probably not describing this very well. It's about
again,
with this one as well, is quite when it in the sort of like the winner position, is it's also, this card is very clearly, it's an invitation for you to apologize. So it's like if you do feel like you're in the position of the winning at all costs kind of person, this is the guidance to say, if this is something that you're constantly doing and there's a cycle like with the devil, like the kind of the addiction thing, this is your chance to maybe be the bigger person and apologize for actually having that kind of relationship.
I wouldn't have put myself in that particular character on the card. I would at the moment I'd probably feel a bit more defeated.
Okay. Then in that case, that advice for that one is when you feel like you're in the position of the one that is constantly at the other end of the conflict, this is the advice to actually accept it and walk away. Accept the defeat. Don't let it carry on anymore.
Walk away.
Move on. That's what the advice is for the other side.
Move on.
So if that's how you position yourself, feel it, accept it, move on.
Okay.
Sorry, that's very blunt.
We're keeping it really cheery,
isn't it? It's pretty.
Forward, because the next card's really nice.
Oh, yay! Finally! Bloody hell!
Yeah, this has been quite an intense one so far.
Yeah,
what we got?
I think those two were linked, though. I think they're the same issue,
yeah.
but I think this is something different, and it's really pertinent to what you've been saying. We have got the Ace of Pentacles, one of my favourite cards. Ace of Pentacles is new opportunities, either in finances or career. This is you can see it's the universe literally handing you a coin. Pentacles are to do with money and material possessions. This is basically the advice of this card is that when career opportunity comes knocking on your door at the moment, which it looks like it's going to, say yes. It's the universe giving you some fucking money. And it's just saying to accept the money and accept the opportunities as they come. It's a brilliant card. This is as self-employed.
My chair's just gone. Sorry, go on. My chair just took me backwards. Sorry.
Jumping for joy.
Yeah, brilliant. sorry. Go ahead.
So yeah, that's this card.
That's
it's
nice.
Saying, take the money when the universe hands it to you. Sarah, do you have anything you want to add on this? Because I just get so excited when I see this card, because I'm like, it means that there is something out there. It's not just me sitting in my house.
Yeah, she really feels the feels with the cards. But yeah, what I also like is you can see in the bottom of this card is you can see like a really abundant landscape. So it's quite a nice thing that what it's saying is with this manifestation of this money or this new financial opportunity, that it's going to really enrich your life in all areas. So it's actually a really lovely card. So saying you're going to feel abundant in every aspect of your life. So it's a real, I mean, considering the first 2 cards, this is a nice way to finish.
Yeah.
Stop drinking and get working.
Gritty. Yeah, stop witching. I see, as I was saying. So just put it down and get on with it. Come on.
Put down the wine and get your ass out to work.
Oh, maybe I'm defeated by the wine. That's it. Yeah,
exactly.
absolutely.
That's my whole life.
That actually feels that again. It just feels very kind of in the moment, like you know, that kind of because gigs are coming in, and I'm starting to look for work again with that kind of positivity because work's come in, and I'm like, oh, hurrah! You know, actually we can get going again. Where I have been feeling very defeated by the fact that the circuit just seemed to have gone and. Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, that's really hopeful, isn't it? I'm gonna cry now. It's great.
It's actually not bad reading at all. I think it's actually throwing up some good stuff. And actually, that feeling of defeatedness could be actually to do with work. It does, like I know I said it may be linked to this devil thing, but it's all fucking.
Well, it was funny. I just said to you, "Am I being forcibly retired?" And the next thing you do is produce this card, which sort of expresses that thought. And then the response is almost, "Oh no, look here."
New opportunities.
So that felt like that was very much where my head's at. The whole three. Actually.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, we don't read the cards in positions, but that to me very much felt like a past, present, future. Reading the cards came out like that.
Well, you could, but I'd be also just right now where my head is at. That those things are happening. I'm trying to leave one behind. I'm in one in the minute, and I'm looking for that one in the future. But it's where my head is. Placed. Yeah. Again, it's. Yeah, that's really quite something. I like
I'm so glad.
That's brilliant.
Yes,
exactly. He's coming back to the circuit.
But you just, it would have been if you'd come up with fabulous, lovely, and got your life is gorgeous, everything's going brilliantly, and everything's marvelous. I'd have been like, oh, all right, then if you say so, because if this is as good as it gets, I'm buggered, aren't I? And not in the good way. But that felt like very real, actually, which is amazing considering we've just done it without any physical contact with the cards from me and like not in the same room. That's amazing that it was so accurate.
It does work. We've done some sort of like tarot readings for fun, Sarah and I, and also Diane Spencer, who you might know. And
I do know Diane Spencer.
Yeah. So everything that's come up for us on these like Zoom calls where we've been reading cards for each other, it doesn't matter if we're not in the same room. Like it really you kind of get the energy through the screen, I think.
Yeah.
Also interesting, those cards were not ones that ever came up for me in the past. Those are not. It's not
really?
Like those are regular cards for me. Like the regular cards I used to get before were things like the Knight of Wands, and funny enough, the Magician used to appear again and again, and the Fool, and cards like, and those three are not cards I've ever drawn for myself in fairness, the fair distant past, but it feels interesting to get three cards that I've never had drawn for me at all, but that feel very kind of immediate. Anyway, we need to do other things. We've got like an hour of show left.
Yeah, absolutely.
Enough about me. So you people talk about me now.
Yeah. Right, let's move on then. Let's do our favourite part of the show. Sarah's favourite part of the show.
All of your parts of the show are favourite. Your favourite part was the story. Now this is the favourite part.
She's so fickle, Jonathan. I'm telling you.
Oh my God, it's just over, isn't it?
No, I'm just happy to be speaking to somebody that's not in my immediate family. Hi
to Carly's immediate family.
Hi to Carly's immediate family. She hates you apparently, so that's good, isn't it?
That's never the people I speak to anymore. Then and Sarah. Anyway, here is our next part, my other favourite part, who's in the freezer.
Hey, let me out! It's fucking freezing in here.
This is in the freezer.
There we go. Sarah, you care to explain the freezer because you are the queen of the freezer.
Queen of the freezer. So basically, this is for Jonathan and anyone else that's maybe a new viewer here, is I do a spell called the freezer, which was actually taught to me by my aunt when I was a teenager when she taught me the tarot cards. And basically, it's a spell for anyone that is pissing you off or they're bringing negative energy into your life and you want to remove that from your life. So what you do is you write it down, either the thing or the person's name on a piece of paper, fold it up, put it in an ice cube tray, fill it with water, let it freeze, and then decant it. I have my little bowl of hate that I then push to the back of my freezer, and they stay there until they are dealt with and they're out of my life. So good things for them. They move on to bigger and better things. They're removed from my life. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. And then I can thaw them out. But as it stands, I usually just keep them there just for good measure. Just in case. You don't want to pop him back in your life, do you? You're like,
pop him in a cocktail and drink that shit.
yeah, which obviously Carly knows that happened once. A friend of mine came over for cocktails and I was so drunk. She was like, can I help myself to? I was like, yeah, help yourself, fridge freezer. So she put a couple of ice cubes in from the hate tray. And so she started drinking, and obviously they thawed, and she almost swallowed the name of this girl that I used to work with. She's like, what the? Yeah.
That's going to be a cocktail of hate, isn't it? You basically.
It was a cocktail of hate.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it means if you ingest it, because I think she swallowed one of them.
But then she's going to poo it right out again, isn't she? So it's going to end up in the toilet. So perhaps that's all right. Progression.
Maybe that's all right. It was the journey it was meant to take. For that.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe you felt the freezer wasn't strong enough. You want the sewer.
Got the sewer. Yeah. So that's the background of the freezer.
Okay.
So Jonathan,
did you? So Sarah and Jonathan have nominations for who they want to put in the freezer. Jonathan, do you want to go first or second with your nomination, babe?
Well, I think right today it's got to be Priti Patel, hasn't it? It has to go in the freezer. Can I do it with people I don't know? Because I don't really have anybody I know that I want to chuck in the freezer.
Yes.
But Priti Patel's about to do this thing in the House of Parliament tomorrow to restrict freedoms, and to justify the fact that the Met Police attacked those women doing a vigil for that poor woman in London. And I think Priti Patel is. I may say I think all the Tory front bench are, but just today and tomorrow, Priti Patel is going to be spearheading this thing, which is really bad for us and really bad for our society. So, yeah,
it's very scary.
She's terrifying. She's the one who stands there grinning and going, "I have ended freedom of movement." I'm like, how is that a good thing? How is that? We're just returning to a feudal society. Her and Boris Johnson in the same ice cube. And then we can put them in the sewer.
Ooh, Boris is already in there, mate. Boris is already in there.
Fine, great. I think for the timing of this, Priti Patel, so that thing doesn't get through Parliament. Yeah. Because it's going to be terrible.
Oh, I love that. I love the nomination. Yeah, it's absolutely disgraceful what they're doing. Sarah, who are you going to nominate, babe?
Well, this is awkward because I had exactly the same, which has never happened before. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly choose something else because luckily there's always something that I hate. So I'm going to put people that put jam first on their scone. And
no, I don't want to go in the freezer. That's
sorry,
wrong.
I've got no choice. I've got no choice now. That is my nomination.
Wow,
put Donald Trump in there. And
he's already in there too.
We actually managed to
Are there any murderers we know the names of?
Yeah, so I'm afraid I'm going with the silliness.
Wait, what does that mean? Does it mean I'm going to be permanently cold, or is it going to mean when I try and put jam on my scone before my cream, my arm is going to fall off? What's going to happen to me?
You can't do it. The knife will just remove from your hand, and then it will manifest in your hand.
Stab me in the eye.
And then jam, as was previously intended by the universe. Yeah. I'm sorry, that's just how it's going to happen.
Your power
I feel like you're abusing your power, and also I feel like we've gone from like a really serious possibility here to use your magic power
for silliness,
for bollocks. Frankly,
it is
not in a good way.
But I feel like I couldn't really have the same as you, and
I think you should. I think you should just write it twice. I think you should write it twice in big letters.
But then, what would the audience vote for?
They can vote for Priti Patel. That's what they can vote for. That's what democracy is going to look like under Priti Patel. So we may as well get them used to the idea.
Absolutely.
You can either vote for Priti Patel or you can vote for Patel, Priti.
Okay, fine. So those are the options. That's what
those are the options.
Okay, yeah.
Except that Jim's already put the jam. We've already got jam at the bottom of the screen, so I can't take it back now. We've already.
It's for Priti Patel or the Home Secretary. So who have you like to vote for?
Oh, that's a good point because she might be gone. She might. Yes, I agree. I'll take that.
So we're gonna do that. It's all in the wording, guys. While you are voting, please comment. Please vote. The way you can vote is type in the comments wherever you're watching who you'd like to see go in the freezer. It might be a landslide this week. Just a sneaky suspicion.
Changed it. Jim's changed it.
Oh, we changed it. So they are genuinely voting for the same thing either way.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
Just let us know who's going to. Priti Patel, the Home Secretary, it's not a fit.
You can tell I've done consultations for government, can't you, in my past life?
Absolutely. Maybe we should come on the show, guys. While you're voting, we're gonna pull some cards for you, just to give you a chance to choose your vote.
So yeah, what we got?
Jim, what have we got, Jim? Kev,
Q for Carly. I'm feeling very anxious about the next couple of weeks. Can you pull a card for me so I can see how things are going to go? All right.
Okay. Well, as I've said, I don't believe in telling the future through cards because I don't want to like say how things are going to go. But what I can do is give you some advice on how to handle the next couple of weeks.
Handle it. Yeah.
I think that's probably a bit safer than me just pretending I'm some kind of fucking therapist. So.
Okay.
Yeah. They rarely say that. Ooh.
Okay.
Here we go. This is a really good card. This is the Three of Wands. You can see a guy standing with his wands on the top of a mountain looking out over a landscape all the way to the ocean. And this is the card. It's kind of like the card. It's like, it's good to be prepared. This is a card about planning, about preparation for the things that you're going to do. Remember, wands are doing cards. They're actions. They're your passions. They're your projects. So this is a card saying that it's really important to plan and prepare for whatever this thing. The thing that's going to make you feel less anxious is if you feel like you're ready for what's coming. So do whatever you can in your power to feel like you've planned for it. The other thing that this card can mean is just to wait to strike at the right moment. So it could also be that you just wait and chill. Don't worry now about things that haven't happened yet. Just wait, and when the moment comes that you need to actually make an action, as is the Wands, you'll know when the time is right. But for me, I would say this is about planning. Be prepared. Be prepared. As Scar.
You had the best screen freeze there for a minute, Carly. You went like this.
Did I?
Yeah, I don't know why. It was superb though.
Amazing, Jim. Why
That
did
was
you zoom
really
in
good
on
with her new show. I'm Not Your Fucking Therapist.
Yeah.
I love that.
Can I ask that? I seem to remember in my books that ones were also about communication. Is communication part of that? Like it was Mercury and the staff of Mercury thing.
I always associate swords with communication personally, but okay. I know that some things overlap with wands and swords actually.
Sorry, yeah. It was a question rather than a because
no, it's great. But also, these cards are all open to interpretation. It depends how you've learned them. I've always learned. Right. Yes. So the suits. Here's a little tip trick for any of you learning tarot. The 4 suits. I always say wands are passion projects, like things you're doing, things you're creating, things you're making. Swords are the world of the mind. So your thoughts and the ways in which you communicate, thoughts and communication. Cups, feelings and interpersonal relationships. And pentacles is stuff, material stuff, or your health. So yeah, there we go. Tarot in a fucking nutshell. Don't bother watching these long.
That's a great show title as well. Tarot in a fucking nutshell. Just the way you hold the card.
Picture of us.
No, but you just show them a card and just shout one thing. You bummed me. Go. Brilliant. Awful.
They'll be like, don't do it.
Don't go home.
Oh, I love that. Just give up now, people. Right, Jim, next question. Let's give on for... Oh, here you go. Stephen Geary, can I please have a card? I have lots of work projects to organise over the next week, and I'm a bit worried about completing them. The card may help. Sarah, do you want to do this for Stephen?
Yeah, sure. Oh,
yeah,
actually, one fell out.
Yeah, you do.
One fell out. So I always find that when they fall out, let me just say, so that is the 6 of Wands. And this one is, you know what, this one is kind of like public recognition. So I think what you've got to try and think about, if this is in regards to like work projects and things that you're worried about, are you worried about it because you're worried about what people are going to think of you because of these projects? Because the focus of it for you is actually about how you're going to be recognized for doing these and sort of campaigns that you're working on. So I think the advice would be to sort of maybe take a step back and rather think about the recognition or the feedback or what other people are going to say about these projects, is focus on your own personal self in relation to those and working on those and making sure that you're doing it for the right reasons and you're doing everything within your time limits rather than the expectations of others. if that makes sense. I don't know if anyone else wants to.
I will 100% concur.
I was really impressed because I saw the word projects and you'd literally just said it about wands. I thought, oh, I wonder if it'll be wands, and there it was. I was like, oh, yeah.
Look at that.
I hope that helps.
Jonathan, do you just have any general advice for Stephen? Oh, here we go. Oh, Jose.
Hi, Jose.
Jose Cabral de Sampaio. Hiya.
There is a thing going on between Sarah and Jose. We're not quite sure what it is because they've never met.
Guapo.
But there's some steamy sexual tension going through the comments here.
I'm not surprised. That's a name you can scream in moments of crisis, isn't it? Jose Cabral de Sampaio.
Well, thank you for that. Yep, that's lovely. Oh, thank you, Jose. You are so lovely.
Look at you blush. Look at you blushing like a maiden. Look at you.
It's the antibiotics.
Life, sir. I'm overcome. Sarah, you wanted to pull one for him and also do him a card.
For him, all right.
Also do him a card. I was doing a punchline, but don't worry about it.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
No, it's fine. No.
Doesn't matter.
It's your show. I can't go.
Sarah keeps pulling love cards for Jose.
I can't remember what I pulled last week, but I think it was kind of similar. So this is like the love, harmony, happy contentment marriages. You can see in the card, like 10 of cups, or the 10s anyway, are like fulfillment and like, you know, the completion of a cycle. And this is like the happy family, like the kids are dancing, the couple are happy together. So it's really happy, joyous card of just fulfillment and enjoyment and just marriage and contentment. It's a real, it's a real clear card, this one, rather than, you know, like the devil and things. So so really lovely and positive for you.
It's not just fucking between you and Jose. It's something real.
No, because look, the children are dancing like they've got some Latin blood in them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's that.
Love that. God, I do. Yeah.
Salsa under the rainbow.
So there you go, and thank you for my lovely compliment.
Oh, he's sweet. I like him. Keep him.
He's very sweet.
I would like to.
We take the Sarah Ellis. Can she have the card, please, too, Jim? Well, do you know what? Jim doesn't read, so I'll draw one for you, babe.
Charlie's going to do it. Yeah.
Jim Davidson's on. I'm not sure she's writing the question, watching the right program.
Yeah, can I have a card, please, Jim?
The darts thing.
Oh dear. Okie dokie. Right. Okay, Sarah, here we go. We've got another 5. As remember, we've said 5 are the cards of conflict, and we've got a lot of ones happening this week. I wonder if it's because the world's starting to reopen slightly and people are sort of thinking about projects moving forward. You've got the 5 of wands here. This is a card of conflict and disagreement, and that kind of tension state. And sometimes this can be to do with work and sort of projects in that way. But the other thing that this card can actually represent, even though it's not like a sword card. Some people say that these 5 people, because they're all dressed differently, represent 5 different aspects of the self. So this can not necessarily mean a conflict between you and actual people. This can this can be about sort of internal tension and strife. And the advice of the card is put down those wands, girl, and try to stay calm. Try to work it out as best you can. I know I said I'm not anyone's fucking therapist, but I think I'm starting to sound like
she sounds like a therapist. Yeah, you sound like a fucking therapist.
Qualified therapist. Anything
a fucking therapist. Not a qualified one, a fucking one.
Love to be a fucking one.
Literally my dream job. Literally my dream job. Just riding a guy being like, "He's got issues with your mum."
Try to breathe through it for me.
So, do you have anything like to add about the 5 of wands?
Hooray! I don't know.
Never touched one in your life. I hear that, babe.
Me either. I've not touched.
It might be a good thing in her life, though. She might be lacking the girls, mightn't she? You'll see.
Yeah, the girls are nicer and prettier. So I understand. I understand it's a lifestyle choice, but I just love cops.
Lifestyle choice. We don't say that anymore, love.
Don't say it's a lifestyle choice.
Not lifestyle, it's not a choice. Come on, love. Come on, keep up, sweetheart. It's not the 70s. Come on.
She's also not fucking political.
I'm not fucking political.
Political fucking therapist.
Any more, Jim?
I think that was the last one.
Oh,
Was the
okay.
They just go, I can't take it from these three. They're
We put free and
and the Home Secretary.
Well done. Good job, guys. Good job.
It was a
Good
pie,
job.
guys. It was a pie.
I think I'm going to do a bowl of hate. I like that idea. Putting people in the
Yeah,
freezer.
oh, hey.
That's a great
It does
idea.
work. It does work.
It does work.
Well, yeah, I can see why it would actually. Just
It makes you
Yeah.
feel better than anything else.
it's a device for letting things go, isn't it? Getting things out of
Yes.
your brain.
Processing
down.
stuff.
Put them somewhere they're safe and
Done.
walk away. Yeah, exactly.
And leave the
bit.
rest to happen in its own volition. You're like, you've done what you can. There it is.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. Well, Jonathan, before we head off, we want to know more.
I don't want to go. I want to stay and do this.
Tell us all about you. Plug things. Let us know where people can follow you because you're so fabulous.
Oh well, my Twitter, all of mine is at Jonathan Mayer. I am about to start doing my Facebook page, Jonathan Mayer Reads, where I'm doing stories for my grandchildren, but also reading some like old-fashioned books, like Map and Lucia books. And I'm just about getting to the point where I'm well enough to do that. There's been a bit of a back gap since I got COVID in the autumn, but I should be back doing those very soon. I'm starting to book gigs around Manchester. I've got a regular comparing gig at the Carlton Club starting on the 10th of May, distance, but then gradually becoming less distance. And eventually we're going to all be sat in one cubicle in the toilet, licking each other's faces. No, we're not going to do that. But so there are gigs coming up, but mostly Northwest based. But so if you're in the Northwest, just message me on Facebook or something or on Twitter, and I will ignore it until I bloody well feel like answering, and then I might let you know where I'm going to be. But follow me on Twitter, and I will be letting you know where the gigs are and things like that.
Love that. I love it.
Thank you so much for having me, though. This has been wonderful.
Genuine our pleasure. We have loved it. We've had a great old time. We've bloody loved it. Sarah Ars, do you plug anything, babe?
No, I just, we all know how I feel now about scones and the jam first, so I don't really feel like we need to go there anymore. I feel like we've covered that quite nicely. But yes, my socials are along the bottom. If you would like to follow me on Instagram, I really like to increase my followers. I feel like I've got a real lacking there, and I'm feeling a little bit insecure about it. So if you would like to follow me, please do. That would really make my day.
Sarah's been real this week. Fuck it up.
Yeah. No, I'm a little bit self-conscious about it now because I joined Insta like 2 years ago and everyone was on it for way longer. So, I've got some catching up to do. Thanks, guys.
I hear that. Yes, all follow Sarah. And I'm going to plug me. Please also all follow me because, I wouldn't say that I'm, as sad about the follower thing, but I am very lonely. So let's go.
This is why you're not a therapist, love. It's remarks like that at the end of the session, really.
Well,
nearly the end of the hour. I'm very lonely.
Very lonely. I need your support. Oh,
no, please, the session hasn't finished. Stay, please stay. No, stay. I'm lonely.
Don't leave me.
It's free of charge.
Everybody else has left me. Don't you leave me too.
Yeah, please follow me. I'm really lonely, and I have a podcast where I speak to one of my friends. It's called The Truth Club, but we're very lonely. So please listen.
Yeah, do you know what? Don't follow me. Follow Carly because she's lonely.
I'm
So,
delirious.
Yeah, forget what I said. Just follow these two. It's a shame, really.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I've been completely delirious. I hardly slept last night, but I you can probably tell by everything I've said tonight. But I'm so happy you've all tuned in. I feel like this is a dream, not just a dream come true, but literally, I'm not.
A fever dream.
a dream, delusional, lovely.
Yeah, I feel delirious. Jonathan, thank you so much. You've been absolutely so warm and lovely, and with amazing stories. And you're welcome back anytime, my darling.
Oh, thank you. I'd love to come back sometime.
Come join us. But we're going to say goodbye. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next Sunday at 7.
Bye. Bye.
Thanks for watching Tarot Nice to Meet You, which is produced by Comedy Hotspot. See you next Sunday at 7 p.m.